need to talk to you about something important today, and that is the incredibly bad screws that they put in the secondary mirror on these things for collimation. They're small.
That's what she said.
They strip easily.
That's what she said.
And they are very hard to find in the dark.
That's what she said!
Now there's a wonderful company called Bob's Knobs, or a company / person, who have designed and built wonderful little replacements for those screws. They're inexpensive, they're great. You should just buy Bob's Knobs. But if you're like me and you're obsessed with building your own crap, because I'm crazy, you probably want to try to build your own. So that's what we're going to do here today. So let's take this apart and kind of see what we're going to need to do this ourselves. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I have a hunch that you're not going to want to pull more than one of these screws out at a time. You don't want to have that mirror rotated when you put it back together. But these are M3 metric screws, and you'll want to make sure you know exactly what kind of screws you've got. The information's all over the internet. You can look it up. It will tell you what kind of screws you have, or you can have them sized at the hardware store. I'm sure they'd be happy to help you find out what kind of screws they are. So you're going to go and measure these, get them all measured up. We've got 1 centimeter of threads below the head. Now the head of this screw sits on this recessed part. So we're going to measure from that recessed part out. That is also about 1 centimeter. Now we want the head, the top of that knob, to come up high enough to grab, but not so high that we're hitting the end of that scope, so we can leave the end of that, you know what that is, the dust cover. So I think if it's coming up over this plate by about, let's say 13 more millimeters, that should be good. So we need 1 centimeter, another centimeter, so we need 33 millimeters total to get up high enough. And we probably want 1 centimeter of thread up in that knob too, so we need 2 centimeters of thread up into a knob that's then 23 millimeters long. So I'm going to go to the hardware store and see if I can find some M3s that'll give me, I'm going to cut the head of them off. So I need at least 2 centimeters of thread, 1 centimeter up in the handle, and 1 to go down through into the mirror base here. I'm going to put this back together to avoid catastrophe. And then I will run to the hardware store. Where is that? Alright, I'll see you when I get back. See, 3 millimeter by 20 millimeter. These are the culprits. Epoxy. Dang. I 3D printed these, but you could get an appropriately sized piece of dowel rod or something. It would not be hard to find, you know, something to use for a handle on those screws. Let's pull this out. I've already got one of them out of there. Just put a little drop of super lube on the end of these. And I'm putting some lubrication on there for 2 reasons. The obvious one, of course, for lubrication, but the not so obvious one is now I won't be able to close this cap and that is going to let dust in. So with a little bit of grease on there, it'll trap dust instead of letting it go down in the hole here. I thought about putting a washer on there, a little plastic washer, but that would have been excessive, I think. And I'm just going to eyeball this up for levelness. Is that a word? Because I'm sure the collimation is going to be extremely whacked out next time I get it out there, which will be tonight hopefully. It's been cloudy forever, so I'm resorting to doing crazy things like this. But it should be clear tonight. That looks pretty good. So there you have it. That should make collimating it very easy. And if you do make your own, you want to make sure to not have them sticking out so you can still fit your dust cover on. I think the total length from the knob to the end of my screws was 23 millimeters. So, yeah, I think those will work nicely. Okay, go make your own crap.